Hello everyone, it's me, James G. I am dressed like a bum today, and this is G Music. No, this is a living room. This channel that you're on right now is G Music. Now, if you followed me on YouTube in the past, you will know me as a sarcastic dickhead who makes little rants about bad music. Well, I've done that. That's done. That's what I used to do. I thought I would turn a new leaf, do something completely different, and basically focus on the music that I enjoy, the music that I like, because I don't want to be putting out negative energy all the time. I want to put out positive energy. Now that sounds corny, I understand that, but tough shit. If it sounds corny, it sounds corny. I'm going to be posting weekly videos on here talking about albums I love, my top 10 songs from certain artists, my top albums from certain artists, my top albums, my top favourite beats from certain producers, all this type of stuff. But what I thought I would start with today was I thought I'd look at 4 albums that I've listened to over the past year or so, or the past 6 months, that maybe have flown under the radar a little bit. They're popular albums, but they're not super mainstream, so I thought I would just basically talk about those for a little bit. The first album we're going to be looking at is Boozy Badass's album, Boob Pack. And this is the only album on the list that was released in 2017, not 2018. And this came out on December the 15th, the same day Jeezy released his Pressure album, Nerd released their self-titled album, and of course the day Eminem released his Revival album. So I initially slept on this album, and now that I have listened to it, I think I'd probably put it on my top 5. If not my top 5, then my top 10 albums of 2017. I've been listening to Boozy a bit the last year or so. He's got a real knack for storytelling, and he does that a lot on this album. Songs like Webby, I Remember, and Cocaine Fever, they do a really good job of telling a story through his lyrics, obviously, and the kind of emotional kind of instrumentals that go along with it. It helps provide a really vivid image of what Boozy's lived. Even if you're like me and you can't really relate to the types of things he's had to deal with, but it still makes you feel, and that's what music should be about, is making you feel something. But if you're not interested in the storytelling aspects of the album, there's also some really good bangers on this album. Real shooters, Me, Myself and I, real good hype tracks if you're like working out or something. I make noise by myself, slang them toys by myself, get my time by myself, write my rhymes by myself. And Get Your Mind Right, which quite an old school sounding track. It reminded me of like early Gucci Mane music, and it's got some quite funny lyrics as well. So does Me, Myself and I. Both of those songs have got quite funny lyrics. And my favourite track on the album has to be Heartless Hearts. It's basically a track all about how the lifestyle that he's lived has taken a toll on himself emotionally, on the people around him who maybe have died or have suffered as a result of the things he's done and his friends have done. It's got a nice, simple, catchy chorus and a simple, quite laid back but infectious instrumental. So I recommend that project. It's quite a long album, as a lot of albums are at the moment. I think it's about 24 songs. But if you've got a spare hour and a half, definitely recommend listening to it. And if you don't want a long album, you want something that's got lots of short and fun songs, then I definitely recommend Rico Nasty's Nasty album, which is 14 tracks long, and it's got quite a different variety of sounds. Nasty's music varies from very aggressive, almost like metal sounding music. Goodness gracious, I might give a fuck on a rare okay shit. I was in my sauce too, cause it's outrageous. With songs like Rage and Transformer, which is actually produced by Lex Luger. But she also makes more Lil Yachty style sugar trap songs like Oreo and Won't Change. That's kind of what she used to be known for, but she's kind of grown more into making these aggressive bangers, which me personally, I prefer the aggressive bangers, but I also do really enjoy the sugar trap type music. My favourite track on the album is Counting Up, which is the second song on the album. And it's a throwback track because it really heavily samples Nori's song from 1998, Super Thug. And it's just a great hype track, a great second song on an album, because I always think the second song on the album is good at like, not getting you super hype, but like kind of building you up. And I think that this does an excellent job. Super catchy, super hype, just fun music. That's what this album's all about, fun music. Most of the songs are only about 2.5 minutes long. It's not something you have to put too much time aside for to listen to. It's just a great casual listen. Probably one of the more fun albums I've listened to this year. Now, next album on this list is Ace Hood's new album, Trust the Process 2, undefeated. Now, alongside Young Jeezy, Ace Hood's always been like one of my go-to artists to listen to for motivation, or if you're listening to while you're in the gym. His most recent project, one that I'm talking about right now, still feels that motivational itch for me. But this time he's accompanied by much lower key production than in his previous projects. Like his older projects used to feature much louder, brighter, hyped instrumentals.
Every day that I wake, I'ma save my prayers. Amen. I'ma get on my grind, dog, cause my mama need a new crib. Amen.
I think the change in production is maybe why this newer project has flown under the radar a bit.
You must do not love yourself as half as much. You must search your soul to join the chosen bunch.
But I still think it's a great listen, especially listening at nighttime, which sounds weird. But when there's kind of spacier production on an album, I like to listen to it at nighttime. So it's a good one if you're in the gym late at night, or if you're walking about late at night like me. If you live in an area that's safe enough to walk about at night, because I'm only doing that when I'm in certain areas. But yeah, it's a great album to listen to if you're on a midnight jog or something, if that's something you like doing. Because the tempo for most of the songs is great for like a jogging pace. My favourite song on the project's 3 Blessed, probably the most hype track on the album. And like I said, sets off a good running pace.
Get a deposit, then I divide it. We never had it, so I provide it. I never stress. Nigga, you blessed, but that don't mean I won't do things that I regret.
But I also really enjoyed the song Devil Get Off Me, which is probably not such a good song for weightlifting and exercising and all that stuff. But I really enjoy emotional keyboard instrumentals with auto-croon vocals, because he's more singing on that song than it was rapping. Speaking of emotional keyboard instrumentals, that leads me on to the next album, the Big Pescado by Burner. I'm probably mispronouncing that because I'm an idiot. Now, what makes this album great is that the whole album is produced pretty much by Scott Storch. Scott Storch is one of my favourite producers ever. And if you don't know who Scott Storch is, you know Still Dre, Lean Back. He's responsible basically for some of the most iconic melodies of the early 2000s. Now, I think my favourite song on the project, bearing in mind how I said I really enjoy emotional keyboard instrumentals, is the song Loose Lips, which features Pusha T, Conway and Fresh. It's basically a song about being careful what you say on the phone, because, you know, the police are probably listening, because that's what they do.
I done seen the best of them jammed up. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
But it's really that keyboard instrumental that just made me really fall in love with that song. This project also has a great feature from The Game, one of my favourite rappers, on the song Wait For It. So if you're a big fan of The Game, I recommend going and checking out that song.
She was sleeping on my dreams, so I had to stay awake for it. Wanted Kim K, so I went Kanye for it. I ain't had to pay for it. I just bought a $10 million crib. All a nigga need is a lake for it.
And if you're a fan of West Coast hip-hop, check out the song Busybody, which features the West Coast legends E40 and Too Short. It's a nice, chill West Coast posse cut. And overall, if you're a fan of Scott Storch production, which is the main reason I checked out this album originally, I definitely recommend checking it out. Because Scott Storch went away for a while and now he's back, and he's hands down one of my top 5 producers. I need to do that as another video, and I think I'll end this video here, guys, but let me know if you want me to talk about a specific album, talk about a specific subgenre of rap music, talk about a specific artist. If there's anything you want me to talk about regarding rap music, hip-hop, anything like that, let me know. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I literally have not put myself in front of the camera for about 6 months, so hopefully I'm not too rusty. I know I look crusty as maybe I'll wear a suit in the next video, who knows. If I owned a suit, that is. I actually don't own a suit. Should have new music out in a couple of weeks. My album's half finished. Make sure to let me know what you think of this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.